Authorities in Nashville, Tennessee are investigating a shooting that left a man dead early Monday morning. At around 4 a.m. on the 13th of March, police responded to a home at 1020 Lishi Avenue on reports of shots fired. When officers arrived at the residence, they went upstairs and found 47-year-old Therese Patterson unresponsive from a gunshot wound to his chest. He was rushed to the Vanderbilt University Medical Center, where he later died. Investigators said that Therese, who lived in the home with others, was spending time in an upstairs room with a visiting acquaintance when a gunshot was heard. The man visiting Therese then ran out the front door before police arrived. Homicide detectives are looking for a suspect as the investigation continues. Officials said they are pursuing strong leads as they learn more about Therese's visitor. A man is wanted in connection to the fatal shooting of 11-year-old girl early this week. The incident occurred at around 1 a.m. on Tuesday the 14th of March at the Northside Hills apartment complex in Griffin, Georgia, when the girl was struck by a bullet intended for someone else. The bullet went through the apartment bedroom window as the girl slept inside, killing her instantly. Sheriff Darrell Dix of the Spalding County Sheriff's Office said they have identified 22-year-old Keonta Jahorn Parks as a suspect. He hasn't been arrested and is wanted for felony murder, 4 counts of possession of a firearm during a commission of a crime, 3 counts of aggravated assault, 14 counts of violating the Georgia Criminal Street Gang Act, cruelty to children, and domestic terrorism. Darrell said that Keonta is considered extremely armed and dangerous, adding that he is a monster. He said that the shooting appears to be gang-related, and that Keonta was firing a high amount of rounds. He was shooting at another person and pulled into the parking lot from about 100 yards away with a rifle, and he was just spraying bullets, he said. The investigation into the matter continues. In Athens, Texas, mother and grandmother have been arrested and charged in connection with the death of a young child who was killed over the weekend. At 6:41 a.m. on Monday the 13th of March, Mary Johnson contacted authorities and reported that she believed her daughter, 42-year-old Monica Figueroa, had hurt her son. Officers responded to the home on the 300 block of Mitchell Street, where they found the child deceased and partially covered with a blanket. Investigators determined that the child, a 4-year-old boy named Grayson Hurt, had been killed the day before. Mary said she heard the child screaming before she witnessed the daughter on top of a rolled-up blanket, cutting it with a wooden handle knife, and then the screaming stopped. Monica reportedly threatened her mother and ordered her to leave the home, and she did. When Mary returned to the home the next day, the child was dead, and she called 911. While questioned, Monica allegedly confessed to killing her son. She was arrested and charged with capital murder, and is held at the Henderson County Jail on a $2 million bond. Mary was also arrested and charged with endangering a child. Her bond has been set at $250,000. Grayson was the only child in the home, and Monica's other children were not in her custody. The motive in the killing is unclear, as the investigation into the matter continues. 43-year-old Heather Wallace of Lowell, Michigan, has been arrested and charged with sexually assaulting a 3-year-old granddaughter in November. The investigation began last month after the Lowell police began with a tip from the Hillsdale Police Department. Heather originally contacted Hillsdale Police about a man from Coldwater she met on an online dating app. She said that the man, 52-year-old Daniel Ramsing, asked her to take pictures of her granddaughter and sexually assault her, but she told officers that she did not comply with their request. Detective Aubrey Culver from the Lowell Police Department said, "I was looking into her first as a witness for information stemming from their case, and it sort of took a left turn from there," she said. Heather told investigators that she accidentally deleted Facebook communication with Daniel. A search warrant was then approved and then submitted to Meta for Heather's social media information. While detectives waited for the information from Meta, a detective with the Hillsdale Police Department told Aubrey that they had reviewed information from Heather's phone dump and that they had located 2 videos and 1 photo of a child of a sexually abusive nature. Detectives were able to confirm the identity of the child in the videos and photo to be Heather's granddaughter. When confronted with the evidence, Heather then admitted to taking the videos and photo and sending them to Daniel during video chats with a man in a Hunt Street residence. Lowell police said it happened while Heather was watching her granddaughter in November. Aubrey said that she did not have custody of her She was more of the babysitter for when the mother was working. The child has been removed from Heather's care and returned to her mother. On Tuesday the 14th of March, Heather was charged with criminal sexual conduct, aggravated child sexually abusive activity, aggravated possession of child sexually abusive materials, and using a computer to commit a crime. She faces a minimum of 20 years in prison if convicted. She's held at the Kent County Jail on a $500,000 bond. Daniel was also arrested and charged in Hillsdale County for criminal sexual assault involving his own granddaughters. He was arrested back in January and remains in jail.